personally stated over and over again that, one of Trump's issues is that, he's hitting the culture war, but he's not, he's a little too crazy. He's too much of a freak. Ben also simultaneously had this to say.
But put aside the rule of construction, the thing that's really amazing to me is that it is now apparently the law of the land and societal rule that the only rationale that you would possibly have for saying that a marriage is between a man and a woman is because you're a Christian or a Jew or a Muslim. That's really the only reason at all. That the only reason will allow you to have these crazy beliefs so long as you can show that they're crazy beliefs. So long as you can show that the reason that you believe that marriage is between a man and a woman is because you read it in a book and because you really believe the book. They keep saying sincere religious belief. I don't even know how you measure sincere religious belief. Are we going to now monitor how often you go to church or to synagogue, whether you keep kosher or whether you take communion in order to determine your sincere? I mean, the same media that declares that Nancy Pelosi is a sincere religious believer who's just for the mass abortion of unborn.
This one is so stupid. Brother, this is a losing argument. I do not know why you think this is a winning argument. It's over. You lost the war. You got too comfortable with the transphobic rhetoric that you literally think that this is an argument that you can make. It's not. Most people will look to this and go, dude, you're crazy. You're crazy. The suburban whites that we were talking about look to this and go, no shot. There's a gay fella that works at my coffee shop. He's a great worker. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. Yeah, sure. Maybe in the fucking pits of Alabama. Okay. You got some people who are on board with this position. But you are out of your fucking mind if you think that this is a good national campaign to be this openly homophobic. This ain't 2008. Okay? I mean, it wasn't 2008, even in 2008, if we think about it, really. But no fucking shot. Now, here's the other thing. Ben's already off the mark on this, on the gay marriage thing. But one interesting thing I have noticed is what Ben is doing strategically. He's not selling this as a religious argument any longer. He's trying to sell this as a rational argument, a logical argument. This was a relatively successful propaganda operation as it pertains to abortions. Ben, perhaps because he is an Orthodox Jew, which makes no mention of abortion and actually sanctions abortion, or because he saw the writing on the wall that America is becoming less and less religious year over year, never made the argument on abortion on religious grounds. Even though the idea that a fertilized egg is a real life begins at conception, is a religious argument. There is no scientific argument around life beginning at conception. But Ben never said that was a religious argument. Ben always said abortion is a life. A fetus is a baby. The fetus is a baby. You're killing a baby. You're killing a baby. He never said who is saying that the fetus is a baby. He just always said you're taking away lives, right? Because Americans are not as religious year over year. They are less and less religious. Less church attendances, less religious overall. So Ben was able to strategically try to reach the broadest audience possible, and I think made successfully some arguments that even non-religious people or people that aren't that religious believed in with respect to abortion. Now, obviously, ultimately at the federal level, regardless of whether you believe abortion is murder or not, it's obvious that 75% of Americans believe that the mother, the carrier, is more important than this fucking fetus, right? Now he's trying to do that for gay marriage, which once again is fucking idiotic and will be even less fruitful than the abortion one.
Children, a little clear that you, Matt Walsh, are not actively in favor of the things that you're in favor of. You're just a religious bigot. You're a bigot, right? And your religion is a cover for your bigotry. I'm highly annoyed by the constant derogation of non-religious arguments into religious arguments. And this is what the left loves to do. They like to say, you're pro-life. The reason you're pro-life is because of your crazy religion. And so maybe we can respect your crazy religion along those. That is not the argument for marriage. The argument for marriage has literally nothing to do with religion. You could be a visitor from Mars, and you could see that all of human procreation relies on man, woman, child. This is not particularly difficult stuff. By essentially boxing in the argument in favor of traditional marriage into, well, if you're a crazy religious believer, maybe we'll let you have that. But, if you're baking, if you're a cake baker, then we're not sure about that, right? I mean, like, we're not sure how.
He's trying to say, if Martians came down to Earth, they would realize that marriage should be between a man and a woman. Which is really stupid, because if you try to make the nature argument, as I correctly pointed out, there are gay-ass animals here on fucking Earth, dog. The fuck do you mean? Aliens would probably be gay as fuck too. Like, there's no concept of sexuality in fucking aliens, idiot.
Allow you to.
But like, Ben, have you never seen an animal? I love the fucking nature, the appeal to nature fallacy, because it's not only a fallacy because we are human beings and like a fundamental part of our existence is overcoming nature. It's not like fucking skyscrapers are in nature, we built that shit, dumbass. Shut the fuck up. Okay? But also, have you never seen like a male dog hump another male dog? Like, have you never been around animals? Did you not learn about the animal kingdom? What a fucking psychotic take.
Marriage and traditional marriage are completely the same thing. And if you object to it, the only reason that we'll even allow you to do that is because of this crazy thing called religion.
The appealing to nature fallacy is a super common one that like these Christian objectivists or Judeo-Christian objectivists always fucking love to talk about, when in fact like MPreg exists within the animal kingdom. MPreg, okay? I will repeat. MPreg exists in the animal kingdom, okay? Get the fuck out of here, dog.
On a gay marriage bill. Now, what is the purpose of a gay marriage bill? There is no purpose to a gay marriage bill. Obergefell has already been ruled upon.
Yeah, no, totally, dude. Yeah, because like the abortion thing didn't happen like recently. You know what I mean?
And a simple gay marriage bill is not even a constitutional amendment. So it's not even above and beyond the Supreme Court ruling. The Supreme Court ruling is still the law. If the Supreme Court ruling were overturned, a quick majority in the Senate could quickly overturn this law. Okay, but the idea here is that you're going to get all the Republicans on record as to whether they support or do not support same-sex marriage. Now, let me just put this out there for the Republican senators. If you vote in favor of the idea that society has an obligation to recognize male-male or female-female dyads in the same way that society has an obligation to recognize male-female, you should not be in the Republican Party.
Yeah, this is a winning message, dude. I love that. I love Ben Shapiro. Last week, this motherfucker was saying, like, we need to focus on policy. Trump lost everybody because he was too me. And he cared too much about culture war issues. It's like, bro, what are you doing? This is what I mean. This is what I'm saying, dude. People are like, I'm hungry, okay? Gas is expensive. And Ben's like, we need to make sure that like gay people, are in a state of disarray, okay? That the Supreme Court could like rule on Obergefell like they did with Roe v. Wade. That's crazy to me. That is crazy. If he was smart, he would just turn this around and be like, every Republican, doesn't matter which way they fucking vote, every Republican should be out there talking about what their methods of dealing with inflation is. Say this gay shit is a distraction. At least back in the day, they were like smart enough to say that. Republicans would like always say, oh, the gay stuff, that's a distraction. Why are we even voting on that? That's a distraction.
You shouldn't. Okay, the reason I say this is not because I wish to shrink the size of the Republican Party. Because if the fundamental basis of human society is male, female, child,
Inherent problem. Here's the inherent problem with this man literally was complaining that Trump wasn't appealing enough to moderates last week, and now he's saying this. Here's the inherent problem with the Republican culture war. Here's the inherent problem with the Republican culture war. That's just it. That's good enough. Did I forget the? I don't even care. I'm too lazy to correct myself. Shut up.
The same way that society has an obligation to recognize male, female, you should not be in the Republican Party. You shouldn't. Okay, the reason I say this is not because I wish to shrink the size of the Republican Party. Because if the fundamental basis of human society is male, female, child, and you think that by passing a law you can change that reality, you do not belong in government.
For the record, if that law didn't, that law is not going to change reality. Reality is going to happen regardless of what Ben thinks, okay? That law is just going to make it more normal for a lot of people, okay? That law is going to offer comfort to millions of Americans that don't have to feel like their civil liberties will be taken away on a moment's notice by a fucking Supreme Court that they didn't even vote for, okay? That's it. That's literally it. It is so unrelated to the existence of human beings. Like, it is so innocuous. It's just nothing, right? He wants to make a bigger deal out of that because he thinks that's a winning political message. He's wrong. They refuse to understand, like, bro, you lost the gay shit, okay? They're everywhere, brother. You know, I hate it too, brother. Don't worry. But they're everywhere. You lost. Hold this fucking L on that, okay? He wouldn't be chirping this hard if that normalization didn't actually lead. That normalization didn't actually like lead to more people being more understanding. That's why he's fucking fighting this war.
This is a very simple proposition. Men and men are not the same as a man and a woman who are capable of becoming one flesh and producing a child. This is not difficult stuff. Many Republicans will be tempted to vote for this simply to avoid the conflict.
Yeah, bro. Like, for example, if your balls don't work or if you got no ovaries, right? Like, you're not technically recognized as a marriage, as a real marriage. Like, you could be cis, right? But if you got no fucking semen in there, if it's not working, you get a vasectomy, dude. The moment you get a vasectomy, the government comes in and says your marriage is null and void. That's how it works. It's not difficult stuff. Hypothetically, let's say, a marriage is between a man that is working on the pool and my wife as I watch. Hypothetically speaking, that is how I have gone about my marriage personally. Let's say hypothetically. Hypothetically speaking, I can't have kids. Therefore, my marriage is null and void.
So that people don't yell at them. Oh my gosh, you're not respecting love is love. Now, first of all, the love is love argument was always bullcrap.
Love is love. Hypothetically, love is not love. Like, for example, my wife does not love me.
And obviously the vice president puts himself in there too.
Okay. Yes, I do want